Hey there, it's Seb Fry here with another exciting episode of Seb Fry TV. And in this episode, I'm going to use a bad word, a dirty word. So if you have kids, send them out of the room because they're not going to want to hear this. Okay, are the kids gone? Or maybe just close your ears. Okay, here it is. Zillow, 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 Zillow. So Zillow is a bad word if you ask most realtors. And, I must confess that I am on the Zillow.com website quite a bit because so often I have clients tell me, hey, I saw this on Zillow. And in fact, today I had a client send me like a list of like 15 or 20 homes and said, I want to go see all these homes. Well, none of those homes, even though they appear on Zillow, was actually for sale. They are called a pre-foreclosure on Zillow. And so all that simply means is that the owner is behind on their payments and the lender has filed a notice of default, right? So it's public knowledge. So, it's of public record. So Zillow takes those public record notices and puts them up on their website and says, hey, this is a pre-foreclosure that this owner is going to get foreclosed on. It doesn't mean that the house is for sale. The owner does not necessarily want it sold. And in fact, 99% of the time, the owner has no interest whatsoever in selling the home. They're fighting like hell to stay in their home, and they're trying to do a loan mod or to manage some other way of curing the default. In many of these cases, these owners are not underwater. That is, they actually have a fair amount of equity in the property, and they don't want to lose that to foreclosure, for sure not. But they don't want to have to sell their house and go and move somewhere else. So when you're on Zillow and you see these homes that are pre-foreclosure, just know those homes are not for sale. You can't buy those homes. You can go to the owner, you can knock on the door if they answer, and believe me, I've knocked on plenty of these doors, and the owners, generally speaking, do not answer because they're worried about getting, a process server or somebody coming to their door. I don't know, but in my experience, it's very tough to get anybody who's on that pre-foreclosure list to actually come to the door or come to the phone, or certainly not answer a letter that you may send them, right? I've tried a lot, and that's because there's so many people who are reaching out to those borrowers who are in distress. They're called distressed sellers. That is really hard to break through all that noise. It's very, very tough. So when you see a home listed for sale on Zillow and it says it's a pre-foreclosure, unless it says status active, that means status active means it's actively being listed for sale and the owner wants you to send him an offer. Most of the time, you're not going to see that with a pre-foreclosure. In most of those cases, the owner definitely does not want to sell. They're fighting like hell to stay in the house, and your attempts at buying their property will be rebuffed, and oftentimes, in my experience, vehemently, defensively, and oftentimes angrily rebuffed, because these people are very sensitive, obviously. They're trying to stay in their house in most times, in most cases, because if they weren't, what would they do? They would contact one of the dozens or hundreds of realtors who are trying to get them to list their house, contact one of the investors and sell it fast for cash. They're probably not. And when I say probably not, I mean way less than 1% likelihood to accept a friendly offer from somebody who just wants to, get in their home at somewhat affordable prices. And that's the other thing, is that these people, they're going to want to get the most money they possibly can for their house. They're probably not going to sell it to you for anything like a discount because they'll obviously will want all that money for themselves to get into perhaps another property or move out of state and buy something for cash somewhere else. So when you see those on Zillow pre-foreclosure, just know that basically is Zillow clickbait. They are trying to get people to look on their site, click on the listings, and contact the agents who are paying for advertising on Zillow. That is the name of the game with those Zillow pre-foreclosure listings. All right, that is it for this episode of Seb Fry TV. I hope you've enjoyed it, and do me a favor, please share this far and wide because everybody wants to know what's up with those fake listings on Zillow. All right, thank you so much. Until next time, I'll talk to you again real soon.